Welcome fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. My name is Yvette Morton, and tonight the topic of my speech is excuses, excuses, excuses. Now for the last several speeches that I've done, past several speeches that I've done, it's been all about exercising. So you know my spiel, you know I'm passionate about exercise, and you know I love to work out, and I promise you after tonight you won't hear very much more about me working out. But it's not to let you down tonight. I do want to continue this series of my speech on working out. However, excuses, 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 excuses. Now I have to tell you a little story before I give you any kind of visualization of what I'm going to do today. First of all, I'm from Detroit, as you all know, and every time I go home to Detroit, the first thing that happens when I walk into the home of my relative is I can feel the eyes staring at me. And you would think the first question would be, how are you doing? You know, how is everything going? But instead it is, my God, you just never change, do you? Are you ever going to get old? So it never ever fails. So anyway, the next question is, what do you want to drink? And my response is, you have juice or do you have water? And they say, oh, this good liquor I have, and you want some juice or some water? I'll tell you the truth. So anyway, they run off to get their drinks or whatever. And my one aunt always says to me, she said, I knew you were coming, so I fried you some good catfish, and the french fries, they'll be ready in a minute. And as she walks away, because she doesn't give me a chance to say whether I want it or not, she walks away, I can feel my thighs expanding from the Crisco oil that she's going to fry this catfish in and these french fries in. Okay, so keep in mind, I still have 8 more stops to go before I go back to LA. Now, on day 4, when I walk into the house, the attitudes have changed a little bit, right? And I walk into the room, and somebody will just look at me and shake their head and they'll say, you know what, you're still young. You know, you don't have any kids, you don't have a husband to worry you. You just wait. Things are going to change, and then you'll see. You'll put on the weight. You watch and see what I tell you. Okay, that's when my speech begins, because I lay it down on the line to them. I tell them, I said, look, let me tell you something. When I wake up in the morning, instead of a cup of coffee, I have a fresh glass of hot water with fresh lemon in it. That's the first thing I do every morning when I wake up. And then I have a product called MSM. Stop it for a second, Tony. Stop. As I was saying, by the 4th day of my being there in Detroit, they'll say, yeah, you're still young. You wait until you get married, you have some babies, it'll all change, and that's when the weight will start. And at this point, I'm fed up. And that's when my speech begins. I said, now hold on, let's get something straight. When I wake up in the morning, instead of a cup of coffee, I have a hot glass of water with fresh lemon in it, and I put MSM in it. MSM helps to promote and strengthen joint and skin, okay? And last but not least, it's really good for your eyesight. So there you go. That's what I drink in the morning. So give me a break. Hold on, I'm not done. Then after that, I'll have some fruit. Normally I'll have some pineapple, because pineapple has enzymes in it, and it helps you to break down the food and digest the food better. Now sometimes I have some oatmeal because that's my fiber, right? So my sister is looking at me like, yeah. Well, I worked out before, and it still doesn't work. I still don't look any better. I mean, I don't look like I used to. So I told her one night, I said, okay, maybe, just maybe, if you toned up the body, I'm going to give you a little quick demonstration here. As you can see, I have heavy arms at the top. But what I do, I take a dumbbell. Now, when I'm traveling, it's very difficult for me to carry a dumbbell, okay? But while we're chit-chatting at the table, as weird as it looks, everybody's drinking vodka, Grey Goose, or whatever, and the weirdo me, this is what I do. I'll do like 15 reps with a free dumbbell, just like this. And we're still talking. haven't missed a beat, chit-chatting away, chit-chatting away, chit-chatting away. And then I'll just go from this direction. And you can see my bicep. It's hard to see it, but if you really look closely, you can see the bicep working on the arm. And I'm still saying, well, how is Joseph? Didn't she have a baby? Wow. How old is he now? I guess he's 4 or 5 now. Haven't missed a beat. So I'll do that. Now this is sort of heavy to travel with, but this is only, let's see, 3.3 pounds. But believe me, it makes a big, big difference. You can see my muscle popping up right there. Makes a big difference. And I'm still sitting at the table and we're still having a wonderful, wonderful time. Haven't missed a beat, right? Now, this is something that I really, really, really love. It's called Spry. It's just basically a band. Now you could travel with this. Okay, this is very simple. So no excuses here. You can travel with this and it expands. Now, you want to keep the arms close together and you just lightly pull out. Keep it away from your face and you do like maybe 10 to 15 reps 3 times. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but my arms, I can feel my breasts, everything tightening. You can even lift it up over your head and tighten up the bottom parts of your arms. It is phenomenal. And this thing only cost me $8 at Big 5. They advertise it on TV, on the radio, and people still don't use it. I mean, it's just no excuse not to have your body in shape. And the good thing about this is you can lose 10 to 15 pounds, but if your muscles aren't toned, guess what? You still don't look that hot, right? Now, last but not least, you could take this and just stretch it this way. And you're getting full extensions of your arms, your biceps. You're working your chest, and you're also working your upper back, okay? You can go from side to side and work the sides of the waistline. Just stand in place. Now, after all this, my sister, she said, do you know how stupid you look doing that while we're sitting here drinking? I said, nope, but I know how good I'm going to look tomorrow night in that sleeveless dress. Now, here's my last example. My friend worked for the American Heart Association, and they were giving this out to people for free, because if we only knew how important it is for us to keep our hearts strong. Of course, when you work out, you build up muscle in your heart, cardiovascularly speaking. But this is just like a little sponge, and it's shaped like a heart. And when you're sitting at home watching TV, give me a break, watching TV, you don't have to wait for a commercial. You can just squeeze this thing, and automatically what it does is it circulates the blood to the heart vessel. It's that simple. You don't even have to leave the sofa. It's so simple. And you can do it throughout the whole program. Say, for instance, if you're watching an episode of Law and Order or CSI Miami, whatever, and you just squeeze this thing over and over and over, you've done like an hour's worth of circulation for your heart alone. No excuse for not being in shape. It's very simple. So for all of you couch potatoes out there, don't tell me you don't have time to work out. And don't tell me that I still look good only because I don't have children and a husband. No excuse. Are you making excuses out there? And if you are, I want to know why. Thank you. Have a good day.